So it's hard to believe some of the things that are being said recently, but it's true. And if you're a new believer, you're caught up in a certain denomination, you might say, well, that's what such and such said. That's New Age or Carl Jung. Listen, they stole it from us. I'm not agreeing with the New Age. I'm not agreeing with Carl Jung and all that necessarily. But if there's words that they stole from us, I'm going to take them back. Like archetypes. There is such a thing as archetypes. In some people's storyline, you're the hero. In other people's storyline, you're the villain. And you see that in the movies, the music, the books, whatever. When you step outside of the 3D and look at it from a 5D perspective, you're stepping outside of time and you're looking at life like you're seated in the heavenlies already, and you're just kind of observing this place. You're aware of yourself going through your circuit in your natural body, but you know that your body is not really who you are. And so when you look at life from the outside in, you start to see through this thing. And so the devil and all the cults and the isms, they stole our words. See, all words come from Jesus. Jesus spoke it all into existence. He is the Word. So if I'm using a word to describe a overarching pattern, there's no reason to get mad about it. We always go back to the Bible as our litmus test. There's an overarching pattern in the Bible in all the books. All the books of the Bible, there's a overarching pattern. And the pattern is the flesh versus the spirit. And so the unsaved person, the religious but lost, some of them, they follow the world system, the world's music, the world's news. They follow everything in the world. But the saved person cracks open the Bible and sees this place as just a temporary place. It's a vapor. Your life is a vapor. And you see past all the pride and the arrogance and the greed and the fighting and the drama and all that stuff. You see past it. So to break it down with words that people can understand, you might say, well, that word's not in the Bible. Really, every word is in the Bible, because like the word archetype goes back to archons, and that's in Ephesians 6 in the Greek. The archons and the cosmocrators, those are the principalities and powers that are unseen. The unseen forces, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities, powers, unseen forces. So to think that somebody's speaking New Age when they're not is because, just to say it plainly, you're just ignorant. You haven't studied or meditated on this stuff. And somebody spent their whole life meditating on the truth, and the Bible's their litmus test. Trust me, I'm not going New Age. I'm not going to the dark side. I don't care how much MK Ultra mind control they're trying to do. I don't care how pretty Jezebel is, and Jezebel's usually not that pretty. She has to, but she puts on the show, initial show, Even if Jezebel's pretty, her heart is evil and wicked and vile, and so you can't be around that hardly at all. Once you see it, you can't unsee it, Once you see how Delilah is just corrupt in her heart, in her soul, in her mind, you have to get away from it. Just plain and simple. I'm just being real. I don't care what she looks like. If her heart's evil, you don't even want to be around her. And I hate to say it, most people are so caught up in the world system, you know, like my neighbors across the street the other day having a birthday party for the kids, or so who knows what they were doing, but the girl standing on you go sit out in the car to do a message, she starts shaking her behind in front of the kids and all trying to get attention. You're like, ridiculous. It's insanity. How could you be married to somebody like that? Just wants attention from everybody. And then once she's not getting attention from you like she thinks she deserves or wants, or she's not willing to see, you don't. Most of the problems that I'm seeing is people are trying to meet all their needs when Jesus meets all your needs. And everybody's they're getting into trouble because all their needs are not being met. Some kind of psychological need. Run to Jesus. Read the Word. Go to counseling. Do something. Why are you trying to use and abuse people and lie to people and create these fake illusions like WandaVision, fake reality bubbles, and pull people into something that's not even real? You know you're going to destroy yourself in the long run. People get tired of seeing you, tired of hearing you, looking at you, talking to you, because it's all fake. You're not even a real person. Get right before God. Become a real person. Got this wreck on the highway, on the other side of the highway, and got a bunch of ambulances coming on this side, and fire trucks, and you're like, they got to go way up the road just to turn around, and whoever's over there is probably dead already. I'm doing 65, and the ambulances looks like they're not even catching, they're not speeding at all. The road is backed up like crazy. But this fake reality stuff is for the birds, and that's pretty much witchcraft. They're weaving a web of lies, and then once the web unravels, they go weave another web, and that web unravels. And they always have to work really fast. All you have to do is Google it. If somebody's trying to pull the wool over your eyes, they have to do it real fast, because if they take their time, you see what their character is. You see that they can't even have a real conversation about any kind of truth, you know. I've got people around me I've known for 10, 13, 15 years that I could email or send a text or even call if I needed some advice. But even in the real world, I got people around me that I know that I would ask them, and they tell me the truth, online, offline. I know people around me that I could ask them, what do you think about this? And they're going to tell me the truth. You want people around you that don't flatter you, but tell you the truth. You don't want flatterers. You don't want the con artists. You want truthers. No matter how hard the truth is to swallow, you would rather somebody tell you the truth. Those are the real friends. Those are real people. Those people really care about you. They're going to tell you the truth. think I slept like 10 hours last night, and I feel really refreshed. I might have woke up a few times but that was I was trying to get to that, but I didn't get to it fast enough. But what you want is you want people around you that tell you the truth. And if somebody comes into your world real fast and tries to get those people who help build your character or build your foundation or told you the truth and protected you all those years, and they try to get rid of those people who are not a threat to this person, something's up. If somebody's trying to isolate you, something is up. You're not trying to isolate them, but they're trying to isolate you. Something is up with that, people. I want you to be aware of that. Be completely aware of that.
Hi, lady.
Study narcissism. Study psychopathy. Study sociopaths. I worked with a sociopath one time. I'd take her home when I went into work and she was really nice, you knew she wanted a ride home. At lunch, she'd be real nice at lunch. Can you give me a ride home? Because she didn't live far from the house. I said, yeah. She never offered any money, no gas money and all that. I finally just quit. Said, nah, I got to do I can't do that. But I studied her for 5 years and I worked right beside her. She was she was a sociopath. And so I studied her. It was really wild to see what her deal was, It was really wild. She was living with her boyfriend and his mom, and so she would go home. She said, well, all I do is go home and stay in the room. My boyfriend, the mom's there, and I really don't do anything but just go home and stay in the room. And so she was a sociopath, but she had some psychopaths controlling her. It's funny how it works. The sociopath was being controlled by psychopaths. It's funny how that works, right? You reap what you sow, right? So most people don't have a right heart. Most people, their heart is not right. And so if you come to this channel, I'm attacking your heart. I'm trying to hit you and make you look in the mirror of your heart, And I'm doing it to myself too, Anything I do throw out, I'm also throwing at myself, because guard your heart with all, the Bible talks about to guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flow all the issues of life, right? And so when you guard your heart, for out of it flow all the issues of life. So the word issue goes back to flow, right? The woman has an issue of blood or something. So issue is the flow. Whether it's your conversation, whether it's the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you act, the way you flow in life. Guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flow all the issues of life. And if somebody's never really got in the Word and studied it, been reborn, regenerated by the Holy Spirit, and let the Word change them, they're just liars and players and scammers and con artists, and those people don't have a good heart, a clean heart, or anything like that. And so when you hang out with those people, you got to be careful, because they're going to corrupt your heart if you let them. So that's why it says, be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. And so when you do have a network of people, it might be a handful, it might be 3 or 5. When you have a network of people and you've tested them over time and they test you and you know their heart's right, they're going to tell you the truth even if you don't like to hear it. And so they're going to tell you the truth because their heart's right. And so you got to keep those people around. And if somebody's trying to shut you off from, you have to ask yourself, what demon in a person would want you to shut you? What demon in a person, what demon from hell would try to shut you off from the people who are speaking the truth in your life? That's a demon. They don't want you to be surrounded by truthers. They want you to be surrounded by the illusion. Do you hear what I'm telling you? If you got truthers in your life, and then you got illusionists trying to come in and create an illusion that's not real, and try to shut down the truthers in your life, what demon is that? You have to ask yourself, what is controlling that person? They ought to be saying, praise God you had those people to help you get to where you're at. But they don't like where you're at. They're actually jealous of your heart and jealous of your thoughts and your mind and your truth and your outreach. They're actually jealous of you, but they'll never say that. And they can't even they don't even know themselves. And if they don't know themselves, they don't know you, you don't know them, they don't love you, you don't love them, because they're fake people. They're not even real.